Well, thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's US Outlook. It is monthly Outlook day, and we are looking at autumn's first month, meteorologically speaking, September of 2016. Amazing to think that we are now starting to talk about autumn, a new season, and basically summer is in our rear view mirror now. It has been warm, it has been humid across many parts of the country this summer, and certainly across the northeast. August has gone down as a rather warm month. But we are going to be talking about probably a cooler than normal month across the western plain states and the northern Rockies. Do check out the written post, by the way, because I'm going to show you the anomaly of August so far, and you can see where it's been warmest and where it's been coolest and whatnot. But certainly we are going to be talking about some very cool air driving down the central portion of the country. It's shifting eastwards, kicking the heat and humidity out. And it looks as if as we push towards the latter half of August and into September, there is going to be more ridging in the west and trough in the east. So we could have a very different weather pattern during the month of September compared to what we've seen in August. The heat has been slow in the northeast to build in, but as we press through July and particularly this month, August, it has gradually built up warmth wise, and of course very warm water down the east coast and over the Gulf of Mexico. Frequent air coming in from the Gulf from the southeast Atlantic has meant very unusually rich moisture levels within the atmosphere throughout the eastern half of the country, really from the Midwest to the east coast. We've been talking about Amazon-like dew points frequently during the month of August, and there is some very interesting indication as we go into the month of September. We need to watch out for the tropics. Warm water dominant off the eastern seaboard. When you've got more lift within the atmosphere over that warm water, you tend to instigate tropical cyclone activity, and I think we are going to become more favourable as we push towards September in the main development region of the Atlantic. We're seeing African waves coming off in a much more pronounced fashion compared to what we've seen a month ago. Of course, there was a lot of dry, dusty air coming off Africa. That is starting to weaken, and we are seeing much more robust waves now starting across the MDR region of the Atlantic. And I think we need to watch out, especially the southeast coast of the United States. Troughiness is likely to become more of a factor as we push into the 6 to 10 day of the CFSV2, then the 11 to 15. You notice here that we're starting to see troughiness taking over in the 16 through 20. And this here, folks, tends to act like a magnet, drawing in anything that's underneath here. And I think we're going to start to see systems developing, popping over the Atlantic, and with the trough starting to come in, troughs can either kick a system out or it can get drawn in, depending on the speed of the upper air setup here. But I do think that there is more likelihood of more troughiness and somewhat cooler weather across the eastern half of the country. I think we've got a wetter pattern during September than what we did see during August overall, and that's the 21 through 25, which takes out the 11th through 16th of September. Let's have a look at the precipitation here real quick before we look at the overall monthly setup here. Let me have a quick look. Alright, to see exactly what we're looking at here. So upcoming week, you can see here that it is showing drier than normal across the southeastern half of the country, wetter than normal across the heart of the country. Week 2, you can see here that we have got slightly wetter than normal conditions along particularly the coastal part of the northeast, dry in the south. But you notice here we've got this kind of area of convection, this enhanced rain over the northern Bahamas. Yes, it's dry in Florida, but is this the model showing some form of tropical mischief showing up? That is a key question. Week 3, you can see here that it dries out somewhat to the east of Florida as well. We've got slightly wetter than normal conditions across the north, but it is not a particularly wet looking month. That's for sure. There is no dark greens representing anything particularly on the wet side here. Let's have a quick look at the CFSV2 anomaly here for the month of September. You can see here, like I've been suggesting, we do appear to have more of a kind of sympathetic trough leaning across the Great Lakes into the northeastern half of the country. We've got more ridge into the south and particularly up to the west. We've also got more ridge in here up over Newfoundland here. So a trough underneath the ridge could indicate that we need to watch out again for the tropics here. I think this is going to become more of a player this September compared to recent years. I think with regards to tropical threats on the eastern half of the United States here. 2-meter temperature anomalies. You can see here, according to the CFSV2, that we've got a warmer southeast, we've got a warmer west, but there's a large area of neutral temperatures compared to normal, I think, overall. So it's not really suggesting a particularly warm September. Let's have a quick look at the Canadian model here. If it is loading, yes it is, and you can see here it's showing a very, very warm September here. So a big contrast compared to the CFSV2 overall. Let's have a look at the precipitation anomaly here, because we have a slightly wetter Carolinas and Virginia here, wetter across the Southern Rockies, and the upper dynamics here. What is that showing? And you can see here that it's showing more ridge, similar, slightly similar to the CFSV2, but it has a stronger ridge further east, and it's indicating that we've got more ridge in here across the northern tier of the country as well. We've got more neutral conditions here across the south. So I can see where both models have some form of where they make sense. There is a good element of these model runs that indicate that I don't really see how that would be the case. But I do think we need to watch out. The tropics could be a main story this September for the United States. We'll wait and see what happens. That's for today. Do check out the written post for the more detail, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, do check out marathonweather.com for more information. Bye for now.